Howdy, howdy everybody. Welcome to HT's EDC. Gonna be doing a little something different today. Number one, I very seldom do tabletop reviews. And the real reason is for that, I just love interacting. It's not that I like seeing my face in the camera, but I just like, I don't know, illustrating, talking to you guys. You know, it just seems to me more personable when I'm behind the camera. But today we're going to do a tabletop just to prove to myself I can still do one. But I'm going to do something different today. I've seen other people do these. This is not a new concept, something cutting edge that HT just thought up. Definitely not trying to be, you know, the smart guy in the room, because I'll never be, nobody will ever accuse me of that. But I just wanted to do something today to show my perspective of what I do with a new knife. And I just got one in, and I thought this to be the perfect knife because I have never had any experience with this brand before. So I have no preconceived notions. Man, you know, these people always have gaps, or this person, you know, this company, man, they're notorious for wonky edges or jagged edges. None of that. It is the first time I've ever I've seen them, I guess, scrolling on eBay or something like that, but honestly I haven't even ever clicked on them, and I've surely never put one in my hands before, so I have zero preconceived notions. And what we're going to do is I'm going to show what I look at in a knife. And I want you guys' feedback. I want you to say, well, HT, this, you know, a lot of that is nitpicking, or HT, man, you're thorough, you're spot on, or somewhere in between. You know, yeah, I like that you look at this, but I really don't care about that. Your comments are absolutely welcome, as long as they are, you know, halfway courteous. Constructive criticism is a good thing. But what I'm going to do is I've made a checklist of what I check on a knife when I get one in. And I've made a little grading scale, and I'm going to show you guys that now. Hopefully this is coming in. You guys can screenshot that if you want to kind of play along. But I have got 10 categories, if you will, and a perfect score of a knife would be 100. I've got 10 categories, and we're going to go 1 to 10 on score. So at the end of it, this knife's going to, you know, could be a 50, could be a 45, could be a 97. We're going to find out together. So the one, and give me just a second. I'll be right back. Do I have to get up? Nope, I got a pen. Almost said I didn't have my pen for scoring, but I do. Shout out to Bobby over at RDS Wood Turnings and Acrylics for this cool HT Red bullet pen. Pretty snazzy, huh? So anyway, the knife I want to show you is this guy. It is US Classics, and they say that they are designed in Salt River, Kentucky, 2005. What little bit of research I've done on them says they are China made. So go ahead and a lot of people are thrown that, you know, you're going to name your knife US Classics, but yet they're made in China. But it says it's designed in Salt River, Kentucky, which I've heard is definitely a river in Kentucky. But I've actually heard some people say the town of Salt River doesn't exist. I don't know. Honestly, I don't care. I'm just showing you the company's paraphernalia. They're called US Classics, designed in Salt River, Kentucky. Yeah, whatever. And their little logo is like a pointer dog. So the model we're going to look at, if anybody cares, is this. This is the model number of it. And I just got this knife in today. So I got this half-cocked notion all of about 15 minutes ago. And I'm just going to go through this. And if you guys like this kind of thing, we can do this in the future. Had somebody the other day that actually asked for me to do a tabletop. Obviously not on this knife, but this can be practice. So I actually just got this in from Big Jim. This is a shout out to him. I can't say enough good things about him. Great friend of mine. Happy birthday. Personally, his birthday was yesterday, but here's a big on-camera birthday wish to you, Big Jim. Love you. But anyway, he sent this in. I just got this out of the mailbox, and like I said, when an idea hits you, an idea hits you. So thank you, Big Jim, personally. I'm not going to tell you what I think about it right now. You're going to find out if you watch my video. And I'm going to be, just because this, I promise you folks, just because this is a gift, I am going to score this thing like honest. All of my integrity rides on this because Big Jim sent this to me because this is a gift. I promise you on everything I hold holy, if it's terrible, it's going to get bad marks. Still love Big Jim for sending it. That has nothing to do with the gift factor and the thought behind it, but I'm going to score this knife legitimately. So, anyway, we're going to get into it. Again, this is the box it came in. I have taken this knife out. This is not the first time I've looked at it. Came wrapped in one of these kind of styrofoam, little foamy sleeves. So there's your packaging. Not one of my criteria. I really don't care let me temper that. It's always a bonus if there's nice packaging, but I don't get too hung up on it. So there's that. And it is definitely not one of my 10 criterias for packaging. What do I think about it? It's fine. It works. Yeah. So there's that. But this is the knife. Check that out, folks. And I'm not fixing to we're going to go through this together. So just, here's the knife. You start forming your own opinions, and we're going to go through it. Now, from what I've understood, that model number there, this stands for brown bone jig stag. So it's bone stag. So this is supposed to be jigged bone stag. So there is that. Look at the jigging. Brown jig bone stag. So there's that. And this is, as you're fixing to see, this is a moose pattern. So again, we're gonna talk about it together. I'm not gonna get ooey gooey. We're gonna go one for one here, and these things are gonna get marks. And I hope I had that turned over on the right side because I got some on the back, some old notes. But again, first thing up is transitions and stepping. Is there any transitions or stepping? So we're going to first of all get this knife open. And this is what it looks like open. So let's get right into it. In full open, smooth as a baby's bottom, folks. It does not step down on this spay blade. It does not step down on the clip point. All right. So half stop. What does it do in half stop? Absolutely the same. Absolutely the same. And full closed, shouldn't be any stepping, and there's not. Folks, for transit, now transitions is part of that, but we're talking about transition. When I say transition and stepping, that is from back spring onto blade. And folks, that's a 10. That was perfect in all three positions. And you're going to say, 10 right out of the Jump Street HT? I sure am. That gets a 10. There was nothing to ding it on. It wasn't lightly stepped. It is flush as a baby's bottom in all three positions. So for number one, we have a 10. Second thing, gapping in all positions. All right, first position will be closed. And I will let you guys take a look at that best I can. Like I say, if you're playing along at home, and I'm gonna look at it. There is, if you want to see right here as I'm pointing with my knife with a pen, ever so much of a crack there. It's pretty good in the closed position. So I'm keeping that in mind. What I'm gonna give it an overall for this. So now we're gonna go to half stop. And we're gonna see again, did anything change? Here's you guys look. Here's my look. No change. And how about full open? So there's no change to me. And I'm nitpicking this, folks. We can talk about how much I am judging this knife with the same scrutiny, and you may say, well, that's not fair. I'm judging this down the middle. I don't care if this is $20 or $120. My criteria is my criteria. We'll talk about value when we're done. So I'm not grading on a curve, is what I'm telling you. Well, this is only a X amount of dollar knife, so I can give it a... It is what it is. The score is the score. So I want you guys to understand that. Is it perfect? No, I've seen better, but it's really not bad. There's like... And I'm going to hold this up to the light. You guys are not going to be able to see that. And yeah, in a couple little areas that you have just a glint of light coming through. I'm giving this I'm going to give it a 7. I was thinking 7, 8, but since we went 10, we weren't really good. I'm going to call it a 7. It's not bad. So, next thing, number 3, blade centering, which of course, we'll have to close it up. And let's look. Let you look at that one. Hopefully, I'm giving you a good view. And we'll turn it around here and give you a good view. I am looking at this now. The spay blade is 100% perfect. And the clip point blade it's darn nice, but it may favor the show side ever so slightly. So one perfect blade, dead balls, and the other one really close. I'm giving it a 9. It is very much centered. There's no centering problems. It doesn't have a pull. Any of the blades doesn't have a strong pull to any side. I mean, looking at the letter of the law, the tip of this clip point blade is ever so slightly going toward the pile. So I'm giving that a 9. Next thing up, blade grinds. Are they even? So we have 2 blades to look at as Maddie wants to get in the show. Maddie, no. And we will let you guys I'll try to get you to look at that. And I'm going to look at it. It is got a pretty fat grind on the show side of the blade. And it has a pretty fat grind on the pile. That is very even. So clip point blade, very even. Spay blade. And I guess I should let you guys take a look at that. like I said, we're doing this together. Pretty even all the way down. Notoriously, I think it's on purpose, they flare just a little at the tip ends of these spay blades, but all the way to the tip are even. It's darn close. I'm giving that a 9. Blade grinds, a 9. Now, next, number 5, walkie and the talkie. Let's take a look. Clip point blade. Look at that wall and listen to that. Oh man. Spay blade. Spay blade's a little lighter than the clip, but look how far I'm coming back. It's a little lighter. Now I have not oiled this, so I'm judging it. Could that improve? Any of this improve with oiling? This is out of the box. Let's check it how it goes home. Very strong. Let's do full open. Somebody will say, well, you didn't check it on full open. Clip point. Crazy strong. And spay. A little lighter. The fact that they don't match completely, I am going to take off for that. But I'm going to say, let's say, walk and talk. Good wall. Nice and audible. Good, very good wall. And extremely audible on the clip point blade. I'm going to give that a 7. I'm going to give it a 7. A little to be desired on the spay blade, but shoot, if they were both like that clip point blade, that would have been a perfect 10. So the spay is bringing it down a little. We're going to go with 7. And the spay wasn't bad. A little lighter than I'd like, probably a 6. Wouldn't call it mushy, but I would say and this is the HT scale, the spring on that clip point was probably like an 8, 8.5. I mean, it was strong. So we're going 7. Number 6, moving along, we have overall appearance. The bone color, in this case, the jigging, bolsters, etc. How's it look? Aesthetics. Let's let you guys look. We have double threaded bolsters there. We have some almost like winter bottom bone jigging. That deep horizontal jigging. Brown color, kind of almost dark brown to black there in the center. Lights on the end. And again, this has nothing to do with how does it look. This is completely curb appeal. Take this out of the box and look at them like, what is your first impression of how this knife looks? Darn sharp to me. Really nice. Love this shield. If you can tell, it has the little pointer dog on it, and it's like a, what would they call that? A bomb shield or the corset shield. Very nice shield. The jigging is excellent. Nice and deep jigged, very even. Double threaded bolsters, and they're even a little pinch, if you can tell, right there on the end. That are, as far as how they CNC'd those, I'm sure, how they cut those threads in there, looks really even. How does it look? How is the curb appeal? Shoot, I like it a lot. I'm gonna give it a, man, why I don't really know why I wouldn't give it a 10 outside of, I'm not the biggest brown fan in the world, so temper that in there. I'm going to give it a 9 for curb appeal, and just overall, just taking this over, not getting in depth, feeling all around. I haven't heard walk, this is just taking it out of the box. What do you think of it? I like it. I'm giving it a 9. All right, Sharpness out of the box. Now, full disclosure, I have, and I didn't think about this, I did check it. I did the HT nail test. So we're going to open up a blade and we're going to cut with it. But on everything I hold holy, I've already touched this up. So how did it come out of the box? And you guys are just going to have to take my word on this one category. It was sharp. I took it to paper. It cut paper. It didn't snag. But you know us knife guys, we always think we can do a little better. Sharpness out of the box. On HT's honor system, I can't prove this because I forgot and I did touch it up. I would give it an 8. You could have took this out. It did not have a burry edge. The burr was gone. You could have took this out and went cut stuff with it. Was it the best edge I've ever seen? No, it wasn't. So I'm going to give it, you know what? I'll give it a 7. A 7 it was adequately sharp, no burry edges, and you could have took it out of the box and used it as a knife. So that is on the honor system. How is it now? Have a little something here to cut, a little index card. It's sharp now, I promise. Yeah, I have already, like I said, touched it up. It is popping sharp now, but out of the box, I'm going to give it a 7. And sorry on that one. If you're watching this far, you probably know, you should know, that is honor system. And like I said, I didn't give it some 10 or, oh yeah, guys, it's sharper than Buck or a Spyderco. It was a 7. It was adequate. Number 8, moving along, and it is, I probably didn't show y'all long enough there. Spring strength, is it too light or is it a nail breaker? And we kind of did that a little bit before. So this one, again, I would give that an 8 on the clip point blade. And let me do this again. I'm going to give that a 5 now that I'm really honing in on it, on this spay blade. So you combine those together. You guys know me. If you know me, perfect. Where I like to be is between a 6 and an 8 pull. So this spay blade is a little light. So we are definitely going to give some demerit on that. And 6 to 8, this is on the upper end of where I like to be for, again, this one's got a little bit of subjectivity in it. So take that with a grain of salt. It's on the strong end of where I like it. This clip point could be a little lighter for me, but it does get in the 6 to 8. It's not a nail breaker. I can get it open, but it has a show no spring. So got one that's a little strong, and you got one that's a 5 that didn't make the thing, didn't make the 6 to 8. Still good snap, but little light. I'm going to say overall, if you put those together, another 7. Is that fair? Really good, maybe a little strong on the strong end, and one that's just a tick under. It's decent. We're going to say 7. So, number 9, sharp edges or hot spots. You guys can see that. With it closed, I have already, and I knew this because I have, like I said, full disclosure, I've went over this knife before I did this. Tried not to get any preconceived notions, but this is what it is. This, what would be the spay blade, that's a little sharp. I would probably, I will, since this is my knife, I will probably knock that down there because that could that could scratch you. The other end, the clip point, it's not as sharp. That is adequate. It looks like, matter of fact, if you can see, I don't know, but it looks like they've even chamfered that. And like they forgot this one right here. So, now hotspots. With the clip point open, bearing down on it, and the spade blade closed. If you see this, and we haven't talked about it, but this chassis right here is slightly thinner at the end. It's a little thicker down here, a little broader on the business end, and it kind of slopes down a little there. That actually aids to me a little bit, especially with it being a 2-blade. That feels pretty good. Now, if I was just bared down, really hard cutting on this, which I wouldn't think you're going to be doing some real super heavy, long-term hard cutting with this knife with a moose. But can I feel that spade blade? I can feel it, but it hits good. It's pretty well executed. So let's do it the other way around. Spade open, clip closed. It sticks out a little more, if you can see that. Got that little crown there. And this one, you can feel it a little more. Hard using it. You can feel that. I wouldn't call it a hot spot, but it definitely ain't, beautiful ergonomics. You don't feel it whatsoever. What do I say? The other one was pretty good. This one was a little worse. Y'all probably are thinking now I've give it real good licks. We're gonna give that one a 5, an overall, and especially we're going back into the that one sharp edge when it was closed. I'm between a 5 and a 6. Since I've been going high, I'm gonna go low. We're gonna give that a 5. It's okay. There's room for improvement. It ain't an ergonomic dream, and there is one blade that's a little sharp. So we're giving that a 5. And last but not least, pride of ownership. How would you feel showing this off to your knife buddies? Now this is, again, a little subjective. We'll get it open for you guys. What do you think? How would you feel about pulling that off your pocket, show and tell, hey Pete, hey Billy Bob, check out what I got here. How would you feel about it? Again, if you're playing along at home, give it your score. I think if I pull this knife out, people are going to be like, man, what is that? What you got there? Because I think it's a catchy looking knife. I love the blade shapes. This is not like a broomstick spade blade. It's kind of thick and meaty. I love that clip point. The jigging, exterior. Again, these guys, they're not going through this whole spreadsheet like we did. What would you think about showing this off to your buddies? I would feel very highly of it, to be honest. Again, we haven't talked about it. On the clip point blade, you have a long match strike nail nick. Over here, you have a match strike half moon for opening. I just think that's a really sharp looking, doggone good looking knife to hand off. I think it would get compliments. I think the boys would say, man, doggone, that's pretty. What you got there? So, overall appearance, I got to give it a 9. I think it's a good looking knife. I'm giving it a 9. So, what did this knife score? As right in the last little bit, my pen wants to go out. So, We have 110. We have 10 over here. We come down here, add 7. We have 17 going. Add 9. We have 26. Excuse me. Add 9. We have 35. Add 7. We have 42. Add 9. We have 51. As my pen tries to go out. Add 7. We have 58. Add 7. We have 65. Add 5. We have 70. And add 9. We have 79. So we have a 79 out of 100 on the U.S. Classics gifted knife from Big Jim. Says it there on the blade, if you guys can see that, U.S. Classic. Again, my first foray of this knife. This is how I'm impressed. Almost to 80%. From what I understand, I haven't looked at prices on these, but I believe they're somewhere around $20 to $30 range. And a 79 out of 10 on my score. I think it's pretty doggone good. My guess would be that somewhere around, and I hate doing the comparison, but Rough Rider price and probably Rough Rider quality, or again in this knife, maybe even a tick a little better. You guys tell me. I'd be interested if anybody did play along. What did you score this thing? Again, you can't feel it and, do the edges and stuff like me, but at least in the comments, what do you think about it? A, B, C, do the schoolyard thing. HT, I'd give that a C. HT, I'd give that a B minus. Or, if you did the whole little score thing, tell me what you scored it. Sight unseen, sight unfelt, but pretty cool. That's what the Tang stamp says, by the way. U.S. Classics, what does it say? Salt River, Kentucky. And on the other edge, it says 440 razor edge. So, I don't know. It doesn't say one thing about it. It doesn't say China anywhere on the box. And it doesn't say China anywhere on the knife, but I am almost 100% sure it is China made. So you people that if that means anything to you, would you rather have them say China on it? Would you rather your knife, even though it is, not say China? Personal preference. But anyway, tell me how I did down in the comments. Tell me if you like this. Is this something you'd like to see again? Was it a total train wreck? You were snoozing in the first 5 minutes? Or was it kind of interesting? But just be respectful. I won't mind. But anyway, 79 out of 100 on a U.S. Classic Moose. And Big Jim, I can confidently tell you now, I am number one. I'm over the moon anytime someone thinks of me. I don't care if it's $5 or $500. That means a lot to me. So there's that right off the top. But what do I think about this, Jim? In my heart of hearts, I like it. Almost to 80%. Really like it. And love the size. This thing is weighty. It is beefy. It is HT. It is all HT right here. Love a moose pattern. And I'm going to tell you, this thing is probably 4.5 ounces. It's a good little chunk in hand. So, anyway, that's what I got for you. What'd you think about the old tabletop review? Stick with what you know, HT. We don't want to see those no more, or it was fun for what it was. Anyway, we love you. Thanks for playing along, and we'll see you on the next one. God bless.